All right, hello and welcome to Ladies Corner. Today we have a very special guest, Erika Barootes. She's the UCP President and we are at the UCP headquarters. Hello, Erika.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, welcome to Ladies Corner for the first time. So where were you when Mr. Jason Kenney won?
Yeah, so there was actually a group of us that were down in Calgary. We had a viewing party with him, so friends and family of the Premier Designate were down in Calgary, and then we actually all headed over to the Big Four, which is on the Stampede grounds where about 2,000 of our supporters were there ready to listen to our soon-to-be Premier.
All right, so how did you feel?
You know, I think because I was involved in the campaign and as in my role as president, I was pretty confident that we were going to be successful.
You were gonna win. All right.
Yeah, I mean, based on polling and information we had and how our folks that were out door knocking, like the reception, I live in Edmonton, so obviously the way Edmonton went was a little bit different than the rest.
Yeah.
I think we thought that we'd probably pull off a few more seats, but you know, I think
just the one.
Yeah. So we have Edmonton South West, Casey Madu, who will have to have a big role of being a strong voice for Edmonton. Unfortunately, because I mean I live here and it's very different than how the rest of the province voted. From a popular vote though, it was still very close. I think it was 44 to 43% of the voters. So still a lot of conservative support in Edmonton, but you know it's unfortunate how that worked out. But that's how politics goes.
Isn't it? Yeah,
it's democracy.
All right. So what I like to do is I want to talk about some concerns some people may have.
Okay.
So there's some fear that the UCP will cancel Black History Month. Is that what you're hearing? Would you know? Can you speak to that?
I have never heard that before, so I think that's probably an inkling. I mean, Black History Month is also national and an internationally celebrated month. So, you know, we are about diversity. We have a diverse caucus, so I couldn't see that, but again, this is not anything I've heard of yet. So
fair, which is a good thing, because today I was at this meeting and the lady was saying, oh, the UCP are in, there wouldn't be much diversity, the Black History Month is gonna go, we're gonna lose the history of Black people in our curriculum. So I thought, let me put it to you whilst I have.
No, I think one thing that our party is very much bringing back is history, especially from a curriculum standpoint, where things have been removed because of the desire to be politically correct. But history is who we are and what makes us the province that we are. So, no, I think again, you know, there's many members of the caucus that are part of that community. So I've never heard that before, but I think that there's a lot of rumors or rationale that people have that they'd like to not like us. And they come up with reasons of whatever scope to justify that.
Fair enough. Now, my understanding is within the UCP, you have progressives, you have liberals, that whatever your persuasion is, you find within the UCP. So I suppose ultimately my question is, how diverse is the UCP?
So a little bit of background. So it is formed by two legacy parties, the Progressive Conservatives and the Wild Rose Party. Wild Rose was traditionally more right-wing than the Progressive Conservatives. And so basically the two parties decided, looking at historically like the 2015 election, those two parties would have formed had they been one party formed the government. So, you know, we're better working together. Conservatives, you know, you work better together. So we are a large tent conservative party. What happened is, you know, there is some of maybe some of our party members would have gone to the Alberta Party if they didn't feel we aligned, or they aligned anymore, and that's their prerogative. But we do have a large tent conservative party where it's a full spectrum of what conservative roles are.
Okay. So when we talk about diversity, I'm going to ask you this. Casey Madu, do you see him getting a role within cabinet? Have you heard anything about that?
I am not in those conversations as it's something that our premier designate. No, but I think, I mean, when you're looking at his skill, the region, the representation of a diverse caucus, I think he has a good chance. So we'll find out next week. But yeah, I think he's an incredible person. I think he could contribute in many ways, but that's outside of my scope.
Fair enough. Now, would you know the top priorities? We know pipelines. We know we're scrapping the carbon tax.
Yes.
And we know we're getting jobs. But realistically, that may not be what is in the, I don't know. Is it what is in the order?
Yeah, so I don't think we've hid jobs,
to
economy, and pipeline are our priorities. I think, and based on some panels I've sat on since the election and from some information of focus groups and stuff, the populace, recognizes that pipelines is kind of a bigger issue and it's multiple jurisdictions. So whether it happens tomorrow versus it's something that we continue to stand up for, we'll see. I think that they're a little bit more lenient on what happens tomorrow. But, I think there'll be a spring, maybe summer session, and a lot of those promises, ones that, help businesses to thrive, allow, industry to do what they do best and have government removed from regulations and red tape and all the stuff that's been put in place that has slowed down our economy. Now it's a chance for businesses to, untie their hands and do what they do best, which is bring investment to this province.
Absolutely.
And really, create the jobs. Government doesn't create jobs, but it creates an environment for the economy. Exactly.
Things to be kickstarted. Now, are you able to speak to the fears that ethnic media would not or have access to UCP leadership?
Yeah, I mean, again, that's news to me. I think because of the Premier Designate's background as immigration minister and the work that he's done for cultural outreach, he would actually be very receptive. I know during the campaign that was a big focus, was connecting with the different communities and making sure that both that their voices were heard, but also that he was present and wanting to work together. Because again, our province isn't... it is very diverse, and respecting everyone for whom they are is something that's how I know his leadership to be, and I don't think it'll be a forgotten piece at all. I think it'll actually be critical.
So you're saying we are going to be able to have access. This is where I'm coming from. With the NDP, it wasn't difficult at all to get MLAs to interview them.
Okay.
It was almost as though they ran an open. They were really inclusive. That people like me felt like I was part of the conversation.
Okay.
And that meant a lot. And what I like to do is to carry on having conversations like this with people in politics,
Which is completely fair. And I the sense that I would have is that fear should not exist.
All right.
So it would be, I mean, again, there's individuals that are doing that full time in their scope, but I hope a demonstration is that we're sitting down here right now, right?
Exactly, yeah. It wasn't difficult at all, and thank you again for...
Oh, no, this is great,
enough.
Thank you.
But I'm coming from... this morning, the group I met with, they were like, "Oh, UCP." I said, "Fine, okay, I will ask." And as we can see, it's not... it's just a fair baseless. So can you please speak to the policies the UCP is they're planning to bring in that will affect women, because this is Ladies' Corner.
Yes. So I think a big thing, I mean, jobs impact everyone, jobs and revenue that you bring into your home impact your family. So I think that's why, because jobs, economy, and pipeline is something that everyone is connected to. And as a result, the rest of it comes around education and providing for our future generations. For women, I mean, again, coming from
you're a woman and you're the president, so that's
that's kind of where
thing.
we had more women running than we've ever had in the Conservative Party. We had such great uptake and incredibly talented women. Unfortunately, some of them did not become MLAs, but we have so much power, like powerhouses of women that you'll see at the legislature, and that will have the voice for women and for their constituencies. And I'm very excited to see that happen. And you know, our party is very welcoming of that. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here today if we didn't believe in
diversity and in women.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, for those candidates that did not win, is there anything you do to keep them, or do you just let them go to the next?
No, so I mean, we're a new party,
cycle.
so
yeah.
This is the first time we would be having this situation. But
yeah.
no, I mean, I come from. We have 160,000 members, and everyone is important. And I personally will do something, but that's just what I feel is right. You know, keeping them involved.
So you'll be reaching out to all those that didn't make it this round.
I mean, it's such an incredible thing to put your name on a ballot. It's such an incredible, you know, time commitment and sacrifice to both the families and those individuals and their careers, right? So, I mean, a simple thank you is not even enough, but you know, making sure that they remain engaged, that they remain, you know, in contact, and that they feel like they're still a big part of our movement, because they are.
Be reaching out to them.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, when you look at this campaign, I suppose the handwriting was on the wall. Everyone knew that the UCP, the polling showed it, talking to people we knew. When you reflect back, what lessons did you take from the process, or what did you do well? What are the particular things you did?
Yeah. So I think two things. I mean, we've always said that we'll remain humble, we'll work hard, and we'll earn every vote, which I think is very important, because if you think you're going to win, and you know, like the polls say, and we took anything for granted, I don't think that we would be here today. Sure. Everyone fought like they were 4 votes behind, and everyone had that mentality of like, no, you go work harder every day, you outwork your competition, and that's how you'll be successful. So I think just that work ethic had a big play in the results.
It took 3 years, didn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. And I mean, the Premier Designate has been campaigning. I guess probably by the time this airs, he is the premier. But no, you know, he's been doing this for 2.5 years, and this movement has been happening for that time. So I think that's a big thing. And then I also think that we stuck to our message. Our message was jobs, pipeline economy. We did not veer from it, no matter what was.
The messaging worked.
Exactly, and it's a simple message, but it's relatable to everyone,
it resonated with.
Yeah, and so I think that we didn't, you know, get into the mud or sling bad comments, and we just kept talking about what Albertans
Jobs,
wanted to talk about.
Pipelines, the economy.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah, so I think that was our biggest success, was that we didn't let anything distract us from talking about what we were going to do as government.
Okay. Now, when we look at religion, please correct me if I'm wrong, my perception is Alberta is very conservative, is right. What will your party do? Okay, this is where I'm going. The LGBTQ community, how do they feel safe with?
No, I think that's a great topic to talk about, because I think that there's a perception of who we are as a party, and again, we're Big Tent conservative party with freedom of speech. That goes for not just within our party, but in our province, and we respect everyone, and we don't want anyone to not feel included or loved or cared for, or that they can determine their own fate. So I think it's, you know, a situation where people it's a very emotional topic, and so when your heart's involved, a lot of times I think that is louder than potentially the facts that you're addressing. You know, our leader has been very clear that, you know, it doesn't matter who you love or what, you know, your version of a family looks like or anything. And so it's actually, I get kind of confused on why a certain community feels that they are alienated.
Where it came from.
Yeah.
So you don't see it happening in the next 4 years?
I don't think that there's any piece of legislation or any
nothing is going to change.
Policy that we've said or that, you know, we voted on in a certain way in the House that would prove that, right? So we have members that have views, but that's not how they legislate.
Okay.
And they're entitled to their own opinion.
Okay. I know in this city that faith schools were hoping for UCP win, because what that means to them, they'll keep getting funding.
Right. So I think that's a big thing is like choice in education.
Right. Yeah.
And it's always going to be a student first.
This is the contention, really, the protection of,
we are so fortunate in Alberta. I mean, we used to have one of the strongest education systems in the world that was like envied, and it is, I think, a big part is based on choice, right? I mean, I don't have children, but
You don't have children?
No, I do not.
I can promise you, I've seen you. No.
I have. I have
last
some.
Time we
that's.
spoke, you said you were going to.
Yeah, I have cousins and nieces,
and you do the school run and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, I hang out with kids, I guess, but
yeah, but you said
I don't
you
have
were
my
going
own.
to a football match, and you were. So I just pictured you as a super tiger mom with a day job and with a UCP president.
No, I don't know if I could do all of the things
with
I
children.
do. Yeah.
3 children, as a matter of fact, Erika. No,
this is the life you've created for me.
Yeah, but I saw you on Facebook. You were doing all these nice exercises.
Oh,
I'm just imagining.
No,
your children did the video.
I have really I'm really close with my friend's kids. I actually take one of them to church. So
okay.
Yeah. So that might have been her or some of the other kids.
It may well be. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Most of my friends have kids, so
right.
I get the glorification of being Auntie Erika to everyone, and only like having fun with them all the time at the park. So
I mean, so it explains for how you can do what you do.
Very much. I don't think I can juggle a lot. I don't know if I could do all of that, but no. I mean, I was a kid, and I think that my mom and dad had my best interest at heart, right? So what type of school I went to, what I took, I took French immersion. I clearly did not decide that when I was 5 years old.
Of course.
My parents did, and it's helped, and they were trying to provide the best for me. So, parents brought these children into the world, and most of the time they're it's always about their best interest.
So you believe in the parental choice then? Okay.
Yeah. So it's a parental choice in education, right? So
this
is
is
it
what
a
the faith
charter?
schools want.
Exactly. Right. Is it charter? Is it private? Is it public? Is it faith-based? Like that's beyond me to decide.
Parental
I think that's
choice.
yeah.
Okay.
And we've been very clear on that freedom of education choices is an incredible thing, and we shouldn't take that away.
Why is there a lot of controversy though?
I actually don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why that's bothersome.
Hundreds of people gathered around, not too far away from here, the legislature building, and they were not happy.
I don't know if it's just misperception or information, false information, whatever it is, or just the unknown, right? You have a change of government, and there's some uncertainties always, and it'll probably be different. There'll be change of sorts, right? To priorities or anything like that. And I mean, none of us like that much change, right? So that could be it. I can't speak for why people don't feel that way.
Okay, fair point. So we're nearly at the end of this. I've got to ask you, you mentioned just now, so you can see I do not know anything about you personally. Yeah. I thought I gave you 3 children.
I know. That's very efficient of me. That in this conversation, I now have 3 kids.
And I pictured you taking your kids to ballet lessons, piano lessons, and you're so busy. So one of the questions I imagined I would ask you was, what does a day look like for you?
Yeah. So it doesn't have me with children.
No.
But no, I am very much a morning person. I usually get up. Yeah, I like to beat the sun up.
Okay.
And
is this from your parents? You do have a lot of energy. You're very progressive thinking.
Thank you.
And approachable.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
So warm.
Yeah. I don't know if it's I probably a little bit of both of my parents, but my dad was a runner, and so I
did go-getters like yourself too. They keep going.
It's just like that.
So do you take after your mommy or your daddy?
My dad.
All right.
I'm like my father's daughter.
That is
so he ran, and so when I went away to university, I started running because I wasn't playing team sports anymore. I obviously was there for academics, and so I run in the mornings. I have a great group of friends that are also not political, so I get a different perspective, which I think has really helped me in my role, is understanding from someone else's viewpoint.
Yeah.
But I have an incredible group of friends that I run with most in the mornings, and they're as crazy as me, getting up at like, you know, to run just before 6 and do that. And then I head to my day job, and then usually a party function or some, you know, either speaking at a CA meeting or helping out with some of the internal political stuff. Yeah, I don't sleep very much, which is very good.
I'm exhausted already.
Sorry.
Just joking. Right, what role does faith play in your life? You just mentioned you go to church.
Yeah.
Does faith play any role?
I think it's something that, especially for how busy I am, I appreciate that I do something that's selfish and selfless at the same time. I think it's something that keeps everyone grounded, whether you practice it.
So what, are you Baptist or Catholic?
So I'm Anglican.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so I actually didn't used to practice religion, and I've started to go in the last, I guess, like over a year ago.
Has a role, I suppose.
Well, exactly, and I think it was more. I wanted the structure of you know, going to church and doing that type of stuff, as opposed to just having faith separately. So
the spirituality.
Well, I would say, like, my family, we were like, I was baptized, united, and everything like that, but we didn't practice it in our household, and it was something that I really wanted to look into, see how my political ideology was a core of my values, but also something that was bigger than me. So it's been an incredible journey, and to have one of my friends' kids join me from time to time is also kind of nice, as it removes me from everything. The whole world stops, and it's just about that moment that you get to have. That's, like I said, yourself. Like, I selfishly go because it's for me. Yeah. But it's such a selfless act that you're there to be a part of something.
Okay. Would you say your party is going now to open up its arms to embrace everybody, even the percentage of people that didn't vote for them?
Yes, actually in the Premier's remarks that night, I mean, he spoke about, you know, what our job is now is to reassure the individuals that didn't vote for us, right? The people that didn't have the faith or confidence in us before, and that every Albertan is still an Albertan. It doesn't matter what relationship you had with that ballot box. The job of government is to look out for all Albertans, and that's very much, I think, top of mind for this government.
All right, Erika, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Bye.